now available. First question's from Alanna Rizzo. Go ahead.
Dave, from what you've seen from Clayton so far this season, why do you think he's been able to keep the ball on the ground a lot more in terms of ground ball percentage up?
I think over, compared to the last couple years, his slider is just more consistent. I think his curveball usage is up. That promotes ground balls as well. And I just think that, the slider depth and the usage of the curveball.
Chris Taylor's been something special, and this is a guy that doesn't like any sort of attention, but he has tied a career high with 20 RBIs in the month of September. What has allowed him to be so consistent, so quietly, particularly the last 3 or 4 weeks?
I think his process and also his ability to really compete every single day at whatever he does. He's kind of an under the radar guy, and that's what he likes, like you said. But man, he is just so valuable to our ball club. He's very unselfish, plays to win every single night, and just anything that's good that comes his way, I couldn't be happier.
An errant ball when Mookie Betts is on second base. Most people don't score on that play. Mookie always seems to be a step ahead. How much of a game changer is he?
I mean, you've got Trout, but I just don't see anybody else in that category. That's one of the better plays you'll ever see. As far as the heads up to take third base on the overthrow, on the errant throw, and then to run hard around third base and to understand where the baseball is at in shallow center field, and to catch Trevor Story, who's one of my favorite players to watch, sleeping a little bit to beat that throw. So that certainly, what a heads-up play. And Austin made a play before that, scoring from home on a wild pitch. So a lot of good stuff along it.
And finally, with Clayton Kershaw tonight, pretty long bottom half of the inning, making him sit there. How much was he trying to convince you to keep him in?
No, he was good. He was good. I just felt that he did everything more than we could have asked for him. 7 innings here, 1 run, and I thought it was just a great outing. And I was looking forward to getting Jake in the game and then getting Kenley some work. So it couldn't have worked out any better for us.
Yeah, really good outing from him. Really good play all the way around from your team. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Next question is from JP Hornstra. Go ahead, JP.
Hey, Dave, your bullpen's gotten a lot of attention, and for good reason, but I'm just wondering if Clayton's steadiness and his efficiency and his ability to just throw 7 innings so routinely this season allows you to even think about using bullpen games at this stage of the season and maybe in October.
Absolutely. It does. And I think that you have to look at your rotation and off days, and obviously we have a bigger number of guys in the pen, but certainly to feel that you can deploy guys in a bullpen game before Clayton pitches and him to take down 7 is a huge variable, no doubt about it.
He's lined up to start. Clayton is lined up to start again next Friday. How comfortable are you at this point saying where in that first round he will pitch?
Yeah, you know what? I think that right now we still got Walker on Thursday and then Clayton on Friday, and then we have the extra day for both guys and we have time. So we're just not prepared to make that decision. But I just do know, though, JP, that both guys really don't care where they start. I can assure you it's going to be 1 and 2, but it really doesn't matter.
How did Kenley look for you tonight?
He looked really good. I really wanted to get him in there tonight after 3 days of rest. And I just the way he was commanding the baseball tonight, I thought the ball had life, and a couple awkward swings tonight. So I was really impressed.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, with Clayton's next start, will it be sort of like years past, last start of the regular season, sort of limited in any way, or is it different now this year in any way?
No, I mean, I don't think we're going to push him crazily, but I think that, knowing he's got an extra day or two after that start, and coming off an extra day, I want to pitch him, and I know he wants to pitch. So we'll talk, and I think Clayton certainly deserves to be a part of that conversation.
We've asked you probably a million different ways, how valuable of a player Mookie is. But that play you say is one of the best plays you've seen. Just what does that do for even a dugout? You guys are, up 4 or 5 up 4 at that point, and he does what he does. Does that, provide energy and excite the team in any way?
It does. He did something similar in Boston the last game last year, and they were out of it. And last game of the year in ball to right field, he did something similar. But up 4 right there, it just sends a message to everybody that every play matters, and how you play the game, is important. And so, to McKinstry, to Lux, to Rios, to everybody, even the veteran players, it's just how you play baseball, how we play baseball. So we're very lucky to have him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Stand up in this one. Very presidential.
Clayton Kershaw now available. First questions from Alanna. Go ahead.
Clayton, are you a bit more pleased about this outing than you seem to be after your last one?
Well, we won, yeah. So it feels good to pitch well here and get a win. And it's a tough place, but you just you try and do your best here. And felt like my curveball was a little bit better actually than my last start, which was encouraging. So yeah, just keep building. Felt good.
So what do you attribute your ground ball rate being higher this year, seeming to keep a lot of balls on the ground this year?
I have no idea. I really don't know. I think sometimes, just like with using your slider a lot and keeping your fastball down as much as possible. I think if you're executing the way you're supposed to, you get ground balls. And if you don't, you get a lot of foul balls, you get a lot of fly balls. So it's probably just a good indicator that your stuff is doing what it's supposed to.
It looks like you're lined up to pitch the final game of the regular season on Friday for you anyway. Will that be a full-blown start for you? Is that what you prefer going into the postseason, or is there anything in particular you'll work on before playoffs start?
Yeah, I haven't really talked about it, whether it's like a abbreviated start or anything like that. At this point, I'm just planning on a normal start, but obviously I don't know, what's going to happen, but yeah, I guess I don't know.
Clayton, in your opinion, now that you've had an opportunity to be around him and a teammate of him, how much of a game changer is Mookie Betts in your mind?
Yeah, Mookie, there's not a lot of bad things you can say about Mookie, just the way he plays baseball, the way he goes about it. I feel like everybody's saying this, but like you saw tonight, he took third base on a bad throw to second and then scored on a throw to shortstop. Like, who does that, and obviously he's leading the league in homers. He's a great at bat, doesn't strike out, runs the bases well, is like the best right fielder I've ever seen. So all that stuff, there's a reason Andrew gave him, 12 years. It's going to be a special thing to watch for a long time.
And finally, a guy that doesn't get the same type of fanfare, but has been very valuable for you as well, as Chris Taylor. What do you think he's meant to you guys this season, very quietly?
Yeah, CT's been unbelievable too, and it's not very quiet anymore. I mean, he's hitting balls really, really far and really, really hard. A lot of it's the opposite field, which is really, really impressive. So he's playing great defense. Short, second, left, center, right, wherever he plays, and we need that type of guy. The guy that grinds things out, just a guy that's the same every single day. And you see that too with Barnesy. Barnesy getting hit by pitches, stealing bases, sliding all over the place. It's good to have superstars, obviously, and then it's good to have guys that play the game the way they do. And we have a good mix of everything.
Thank you for your time.
All right.
Next question is from JP. Go ahead.
Yeah, Clayton, Alanna just alluded to the ground ball rate. As a team, you guys do a better job than any team in baseball converting balls and plays into outs. What has that done for you as a pitcher this season?
Yeah, we're pretty spoiled, as far as a pitching staff, with our defense and the way the guys, put people in the right spots, and then, just our defenders in general. There's not a lot of mistakes made, and it's just it's really just a compliment to everybody in our organization, as far as front office and guys making decisions on where to put people with the coaches, and then just the defense in general, the guys that play infield, outfield, everything. They're just really, really good. So we are a little spoiled being on this pitching staff.
Are you mentally calibrated to consider that you only have one regular season start left? Like, we're here already almost.
Yeah, weird, obviously, only getting 10 starts, and especially because I missed the first couple of the season. So all to say, it's just been a big build to the postseason anyway, because at the end of the day, with this playoff format 1 through 8, it doesn't matter what seed you are. You play 3 games against somebody. So I don't particularly like it, but especially when you have a good team, it doesn't really give us any advantage at all. So, but at the end of the day, it is a big build to the postseason, and we're getting ready for that.
I asked Dave about this a minute ago, and he narrowed down that first postseason game assignment to either you or Walker, with the other guy going second. Just what are your thoughts on the order of pitching in that first round right now?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think Walker and I will both be ready. I heard that he threw fine today. Made it. I don't know how 6 or 7 innings or something. So looking forward to seeing him back out there against Oakland, and then wherever Walker and I start, we don't care, and we'll be good.
Thank you.
Next question is from Ken Gurnick. Go ahead, Ken.
Clayton, in the first couple innings, your slider was a little faster than normal, and then it kind of dialed back. Were you even aware of that? Was it accidental or intentional?
No, it wasn't accidental. I think the first couple innings, I really liked my slider. And then, towards the middle innings, I started getting on the side of it a little too much and tried to make that adjustment as best I could. But, overall, I thought my slider was not quite as good as my last start in San Diego, for sure. I thought it was a little bit more consistent in San Diego, but able to make some pitches with it when I needed to tonight.
Thanks.
Next question is from Jorge. Go ahead.
Clayton, just you alluded to the strange playoff format. There are a lot of possibilities for you guys in the first round. Just wondering, are you scoreboard watching, standings watching? Are you considering the possible matchups?
Man, it changes like every day. There's no point in looking. I feel like it's one team, and then there's 6 other teams that it changes between every day. So once again, just this is a 1-year deal, and we understand that. But once the postseason starts, we'll be ready for whoever gets there.
Thank you.
Got time for one more. Go ahead, Cary.
Clayton, there have been a lot of great performances this year. You're consistently winning the matchups. What part of your game has given you the most satisfaction this season?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think winning was great, being a part of that. I think, I don't know. I guess just winning baseball games and being a small part of it is the goal of a starting pitcher. Just trying to keep your team out there. As far as individual pitches or stuff like that, I do think my stuff is a little bit better this year than it has been, but I don't really, I don't really think about that, I guess.
Thanks, Clayton.
All right, thanks.
Chris Taylor now available. First questions from Alanna. Go ahead.
Chris, a really good offensive day from you, but it seems like in this series in particular, all of you guys up and down the lineup are performing. You've been on World Series teams with this club in the past. How do you think this team is perhaps better suited than the teams in the past that you were on?
Yeah, I just think it's a well-rounded team. You know, top to bottom, we got the depth in the lineup. You know, obviously bringing Mookie on is a huge plus. Starting pitching's been fantastic. And then I think our bullpen's been one of the best in the league. So, you know, that could be the biggest difference maker.
When you don't have to put all the pressure on each individual, how much more can you just focus on your own game and knowing that you can pass the baton?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think that's, you know, that's kind of always been our philosophy on offense is on to the next guy and, you know, that unselfish at-bats. And, you know, if they're not giving you the pitch you want, you know, be disciplined enough to be able to lay off those tough pitches that you can't really do damage with. And, you know, hopefully the guy behind you will pick you up.
Next question is from JP Hornshaw. Go ahead.
Chris, I wanted to get your sense on whether your sort of mindset is that of there's only like 1 week left in the regular season and that the postseason's right around the corner. How much does this feel like an actual end of September for you?
Yeah, it's a little different. You know, we definitely feel it with the intensity, though. We understand that, you know, the Padres are right behind us, and we're trying to close this thing out and win the division and hopefully take some momentum into the postseason. You know, I've said before, we can't just turn it on once the postseason gets here. We need to be playing our best baseball this last week and have some momentum going into October.
You know, other than the Padres, is there any point in scoreboard watching? Have you allowed yourself to contemplate who you guys might get in the first round?
No, I don't think there is. There's so many teams that are right on that 7-8 range right now. You know, we'll see where it all plays out when it's done. But, you know, all we can do is focus on winning games and winning our division.
Thank you.
Next question is from Ken Gurnick. Go ahead, Ken.
Chris, have you heard comments from opponents, or do you even just get the sense that opponents get worn down by the fact that you guys just keep on coming and that you have so many ways to beat them?
Yeah, I think, you know, we've always taken pride in making the pitcher work, you know, working the counts, being stubborn up there, and, you know, hopefully having the starter out of there by the 6th inning. You know, that's kind of been our philosophy, our offensive philosophy for the last few years. And, you know, that's something we definitely work on.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, does Clayton look like the Clayton of, you know, maybe 2017? Does he look like that guy again?
Oh yeah, I don't know if he ever went anywhere. You know, he's been pretty good every year, but you know, I think his stuff is definitely sharp right now. I think his slider's got really good depth on it. He's getting a lot of swing and miss on that. His command's outstanding as usual, and you know, I think his velo is up a little bit from last year. So yeah, he's been really sharp all season, and you know, just really consistent. Pretty much what we expect from him.
Thank you.
We got time for one more. Go ahead, Cary.
Chris, kind of playing off that, you know, fans aren't getting that in-stadium experience, but you have the best seat in the house to watch Clayton. Can you describe what it's been like to watch him this year?
Yeah, you know, he's fun to play behind.
as an infielder, I appreciate it. I think it's more predictable what the hitters are going to do against him because he always hits his spots. He gets a lot of rollovers from righties. It's I love pitchers that work ahead and throw strikes and keep you in the game. And, I appreciate that as a shortstop. I think our whole defense appreciates that.
Thanks, CT.
Thanks, guys.